Hi, I am Michael Derrick Adams. I am the director of my new documentary called The Light. But this documentary was meant to be out in June 2020, but due to the pandemic, due to COVID-19, it couldn't have been released. But it's October the 1st, and after you watching this, you will be watching a documentary about cancer. So please all keep safe, keep well, and let's shed the light on cancer.
Anyone can give up. It's the easiest thing in the world.
But to hold it together when everyone else would understand if you fell apart, that's true strength.
But now I need to tell you a story of my own. The survivors in this documentary will be sharing their personal stories about the battle they went through with cancer. It's possible not just to survive, but to thrive and to live a healthy, wonderful life again. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. Cancer is like a teeter-totter. Sometimes you've got to go down to go back up. Hi, my name is Caitlin Gallacher and I will be talking to you throughout the documentary. Let's begin with the first story about a survivor who went through common cancer.
My name's Amanda and I'm a cook at Waitrose. I've been there for the past 6 years. My initial reaction to finding out I had breast cancer was one of shock, really. I'd not expected that answer. I expected it to be nothing.
How did you find the strength to go through the treatments?
My honest answer to that question is I have no idea. You don't really have to find the strength, it just has to be done. So it's not a question I can answer easily. Possibility of death was something I never contemplated. I never once thought, I'm going to die. I just knew I had to get through this. And the side effects was something I never dealt with, I never got used to. I hated every second of it, but it had to be done.
When did you want family close, and when did you want them to go away?
I think having my family close the whole time was important to me. I didn't really like treatment day or the following days after, as that just showed my vulnerable side. I'd rather they didn't see me, but they were there, they lived it with me. So I'd say treatment days were the worst, but apart from that, I just wanted them by my side the whole time.
Have going through cancer made you a stronger person?
I didn't think so, but talking to my husband about this interview and these questions, he seems to think it's made me a much stronger person. Obviously, he can see it from his point of view. So I would have to say yes.
Breast cancer is the most common cancer in the UK, with 55,200 new cases every year. That's around 150 every day. Breast cancer is most common in females, but in 2016 there were 360 new cases of breast cancer in men. The next interviewee did something out of the kindness of their heart.
My name is Michael Garlick. I'm a business development manager in London. So I've got 3 friends that have all suffered from prostate cancer, and I decided with 3 weeks' notice to do a walk to Brighton, which is about 50 miles. So the walk itself was an amazing experience. It was one of the hardest things I've done in my life, but definitely well worth it. We started at midnight and we met up on the downs just at the back of my garden. It was a nice clear night, cold but clear. We walked 13 miles, I think it was, before we stopped. And it was that far before we even actually had to cross a road. So it's amazing how far you can walk without actually touching a road. It was really good. And then we had breakfast at Worth in Crawley. So we had someone helping us out. He was driving around and meeting us in various places just to make sure we were all okay. Then we had lunch about halfway. Unfortunately, one of the guys we were doing with had to pull out after halfway, but he was not used to walking as much as us, but he did really well. And then we found out he sent some photos which were of the support guy and the person who pulled out having a nice pub meal, which really spurred us on to carry on with the walk. Then we had another break, and unfortunately the guy who's supporting us was waiting in a pub car park, so we had a pint of orange juice and lemonade in the beer garden, which was very painful because we wanted to have a beer. And by this stage we were all kind of really suffering, and the last 7 miles was really tough, and we got to Brighton at 7:30 at night with a nice sunset, and we have a picture of us looking rather tired, but very happy that we did that walk and did it for a good cause. So with just 3 weeks' notice to doing the walk, we raised an amazing £950 for prostate cancer research.
Cancer Research UK is the largest cancer charity operating in the UK. As a charity, they support research worth over £400 million at 90 different institutions across the country, in addition to funding nurses, scientists and doctors. The next survivor holds his family close to his heart.
My name is Antonio Gallo. I'm a RSS Patrol for a Premier Company in Roadside Services, and I've been doing that for quite a number of years, and 15 years plus. First thought that came into mind when I was told this, it was pretty much like having tunnel vision, but with the very blurry sort of background, I couldn't really take it in at first, and yeah, as it went along, I sort of like grasped the fact that this was you know, true, but I couldn't quite believe it at the time. But you know, hey ho, unfortunately, things are like that at times. But yeah, very surreal. The cancer that I had, it came on the back of another issue, which predominantly was a DVT, which caused an embolism in my lungs. So pretty much, this is obviously over a period of time. You know, I nursed this for about 10 days, and I was told that potentially, had I been 24 hours later, I probably wouldn't be here. So they pretty much started on that to start with, and on that note, the cancer then, because I had no symptoms initially, was checked later on to having obviously a blood test, and they said, well, there's something not right here, so we need to investigate this further. And so about 2-3 weeks later, I was told then that I had you know, cancer. But initially, I could have died of you know, a pulmonary embolism. Which was caused by DVT, you know, so it was a bit, yeah. So it was a bit up in the air at that time. I was, you know, mentally, I was very up in the air, you know, and it wasn't the easiest time of my life, I must admit.
How did you find the strength to go through the treatments?
I think the key was that I had the right information to be able to set my mind to what I wanted to be. I didn't find it difficult in a sense to make a decision to undergo whatever treatment it was an option. But for in my case, I decided that having the robotic prostatectomy was the ideal thing to do. And so once I've made up my mind, it was very clear that that's what I wanted to do, and I felt very confident that it was going to be good. That you know, I had confidence in the consultant who was performing this procedure, yeah, and so you know, I was hoping obviously it would be a good result, and it was. So yes, I was very happy, and I was quite strong mentally, prepared to go and do this. I was pretty much one you know, in regards to having that sort of moral support. I was very much in line with my thoughts. I pretty much wanted to be left alone, which is probably not the right thing for most people, but for me, I didn't want people to dwell on this situation too much, which would put doubt in my mind. So, being, you know, on my own, in you know, within my thoughts, I preferred it. So I didn't like people to talk too much about it, and you know, no, not really. I was quite hard in the sense that I expected them to grant my wishes, and they were very good at that, which is great. In myself personally, there is a canning cancer. I think that, it's sometimes difficult to visualize the prospect of being clear. And then obviously, the follow-throughs whereby, you get checked every now and again, every 3 months, 6 months or a year, and you're told that you're still all clear. And so, yes, there is a canning cancer, in my opinion, and you have to believe that. I think you need to be strong, mentally to be able to carry on your life as if, not as if it's just another day, but, it's for you and your family, and, and you've got plans. And so, yeah, it's all good. I think it's brilliant.
One man in 9 will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime, but only 1 in 39 will die of this disease. About 80% of men aged 80 have cancer cells in their prostate. The most recent research shows that the 5-year survival rate for all men with prostate cancer is nearly 100%. The relative survival rate for 10 years is 98% and 96% for 15 years. You've had some inspiring stories, but now I need to tell you a story of my own. In November 2015, just after my 15th birthday, I was hospitalised with a brain tumour. The operation to debulk this tumour, the doctor called an epidermoid cyst, left me with facial paralysis, tinnitus, diplopia, right-sided weakness, and I wasn't able to speak or move. Almost a month later, I was sent home from hospital in a wheelchair. Therapists had helped me learn to talk and walk again, and now I had to recover on my own. The tumour wasn't a cyst. Nearly 2 months after the first biopsy, doctors thought it to be a nerve sheath tumour, and they treated it as one. After about 6 months of chemotherapy and 10 weeks of proton therapy, scans showed that there was no sign of any cancer. I started year 11, got some GCSEs, then did my A-levels in summer 2019. A month after my exams, I got news that a routine MRI had shown that I had spinal metastases. The cancer had spread to my spine. They had reclassified my cancer as a high-grade neuroepithelial tumour, and now I would receive radiotherapy and chemotherapy. I wanted to share my story mainly because I haven't heard one similar to it. I can't convey exactly what cancer is like. There are so many types, treatments, and people react differently. But before I had cancer, I didn't know much about it. I thought I knew enough, but there is so much more. There are a lot of chemotherapy drugs with different side effects. Most of them cause vomiting. The dose, frequency, and body part that receives radiotherapy is different for every cancer, with different effects. The feeling of being so unwell made me feel itchy, like my body wasn't mine and I didn't look or feel like me. The drugs I'm having this time round are easier for me to cope with, and I've recovered gradually from my operation, so now I don't have to also deal with major disability. The hardest part was social, returning to school knowing how differently I felt and looked. Compared to me before and to the other students, made me feel depressed, isolated. People looked at me or ignored me completely. Very few spoke to me. Engaging in the charity Teens Unite events and being invited to be part of a teenage cancer trust group for teenage girls made all the difference for me. I met and was included in conversation with people around my own age who had been or were still going through cancer, and they were so accepting and non-judgmental. Family and family friends were also great. Without this support, I would have found my time from age 16 to 19 more unbearable. So I ask you to try to be there for people who seem a bit different, disconnected or lost. It may take some time for them to warm up, to get used to being treated normally again, but it helps so much.
Hi Caitlin, I've heard of your predicament at the moment with your diagnosis. There's not really a lot to say, but I think that potentially, I think with anybody, is the mental strength, is having the confidence that your treatment that you're undergoing at the moment is going to be successful, and that will help you, I think, mentally to deal with anything that comes along. And I think that's very important, I think, in anybody's case, when you're diagnosed with cancer. I hope that everything goes according to plan, and that you are successful, and that you go in remission. So that's all I can say, really. I think it's very difficult to be able to perceive what people are thinking, and on the outcome of their treatment. But I think that you've got to believe that it's going to work. And it will work, I'm sure. Okay, all the best.
I think every cloud has a silver lining. Every day is another day that you can wake up and smile. Now that's true strength.
Every day is so wonderful, but suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful no matter what they say. Yes, words can bring me down. I am beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can bring me down. No, no. So don't you bring me down today. To all your friends, you're delirious, so consumed in all your doom, trying hard to fill the emptiness. The pieces gone, left the puzzle undone, but that's the way it is. You are beautiful no matter what they say. Words can bring you down. Oh no, you are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can bring you down. So don't you bring me down today, no matter we say, your song will always shine. Oh, and everywhere we go, the sun will always shine. And tomorrow we might awake on the other side. 'Cause you are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can bring us down. No, we are beautiful in every single way. Words can bring us down. So don't you bring me down.